Kids think shopping's a wonderful experience. Mum and Dad think shopping's a wonderful experience because the kids are happy when they've got to do the basics of the supermarket shop. My two daughters loved it whenever we used to go to France and do the French supermarket because they always had little trolleys. Problem was, it didn't take the right number of bottles of wine when we got to the wine counter. Anyway, there's a hairdresser who has regular music theme days. Monday's Beatles, Tuesday's Beethoven, Wednesday's Black Sabbath. You know, you pick the day you go to the hairdresser on your musical preference. Makes the thing more enjoyable. Dentists, you know, I've got quite a few stories about dentists. This is one that I think is just absolutely brilliant. There's a dentist who's recognised that one of the problems is getting children to go to the dentist because they hate it. And they hate the waiting room experience and all that goes with it, and the timing of trying to fit it in round school and whatever else. So, and mum and dad don't enjoy it too because they've got to get time off work and that. So what they've decided is, right, during school holidays, we will not see any adult patients unless it's emergency. And they turn the waiting area into an entertainment area with clowns, with activities, and all they do is see kids during school holidays. So that it becomes a pleasurable experience for the child to go, and it doesn't build up this hatred and fear of going to the dentist. Interesting. The other one, and I know I've met this guy, guy called Tom, who's another dentist, and he sees his clients, and when he gets home, parks the car on the drive, stays in the car, and he then phones up every client that he's seen that day to say, "Hi, it's Tom. I just want to check that you're absolutely delighted and that everything's okay with your teeth. Have you got any pain on that? I've just got home. I'm just on the drive. I just thought I'd check because I can still turn around and go back to the surgery if you've got a problem." How many people do you actually think take him up on that type of offer compared to the goodwill it generates? In fact, hey, my dentist really cares about me, but he does it, it's there, it's part of his daily routine. Power Principle 3 looks at and actually dissects the essence of this referral relationship that we're trying to build up. And I'm going to try and do it graphically for you on the screen here. And it's a triangular relationship where you've got you, your friends, their friends, and it's about, hey, what can we do for each other, and how can we do that? So we've got you, you've got your friend, someone you currently know. They have their friends, someone you don't currently know. And what we want to do is we want their friend to interact with us. And that's the nature of a referral network or a referral relationship. So how can we get our friends to talk to their friends about us so that we end up interacting? And how do we reinforce those arrows on this chart so that it works for everybody? And the key is to create a game that everybody wants to play. I use game loosely, but that's the thing. How do we make this work for everybody? Yeah? And actually, what we need to do is change the tags. So let's change the tags to your business, my business, your contacts, your customers, your suppliers, the other people you know, and their contacts. And how do we get this working in a business environment? That's the essence of word of mouth advertising. How do we make those links work? How do we create this game that they all want to play? And in most business sectors, there's no reason why you can't actually pay somebody to do an introduction. Yeah? So, Matt, you might speak to Neil. Neil introduces you to somebody who then give you a paid piece of work, give you a commission to do some photographs, and you pay Neil an introductory commission. You pay him a finder's fee. Yeah? Most walks of life, no problem with that. Grease the palms with a little bit of money. Works wonders. Certain professions can't do that. We struggle with it. Institute of Chartered Accountants say we can't actively go and pay for leads like that. Solicitors, whoa, don't even attempt to go there because they definitely won't do it. Unethical. Most professional bodies deem it to be unethical if you pay. We do something that's not quite paying, but any of you guys who introduce us to a contact of yours for a potential meeting, for a diagnostic review, anything like that, we'll give you a bottle of wine. Nice bottle of wine, thank you. So if you want to stock the wine cellar up, give me some names and addresses of people. I mean, obviously not just don't just print the customer list out and expect that you're going to get 3 cases of wine, because it doesn't work like that. You do actually have to get an appointment to see these people. But if it's an introduction like that, one of the ways of us saying thank you is, here's a nice bottle of wine, thank you very much, whether they become a client or not. So that's one way that you could do it. It's not the only game in town. What happens on the high street? Let's think about Marks and Spencer's. Let's go back to the earlier screen, put it back into the personal environment. How do we do this? Well, imagine that you have a friend who lives at the other end of the country, and it's a big birthday with a big 0 on the end of it. And you'd love to buy them a present, but actually you haven't got a clue what would be a good present. And you can't hand deliver it to them because they live 350 miles away. They literally are at the other end of the country. What could you do? Well, go to M&S, buy a gift voucher, send the gift voucher to your friend for the birthday, and then they go to M&S and spend the gift voucher on whatever they want. How does that work diagrammatically? Well, it's this. M&S are at the top. You buy the gift voucher from them that you give to their friend, and then their friend come into the store and spend the gift voucher. So gift vouchers are a good way of potentially doing this. Power Principle 4, every business should have at least 5 different referral systems. Hands up, who's got at least 5? Yeah, nobody ever has. But there's no reason why. Scripts, postcards, that's 2. You know, how many else can we do here? Why 5? Because different people react to different things. There's a whole spectrum of different stuff here, and depending on the personalities, so like my managing director and my largest turnover client, if we directly obliquely ask for referrals, he's going to go, oh, stop doing that, you like, which was his previous firm. But if I invite him to events like this, he'll pass that on. Or if I invite him to other events, or if I invite him to do something else, then actually he'll go, oh, okay, no, it's not for me, but why don't you invite? Or he'll send some of his other staff members. So it builds up stuff there. Systems is the other key one. It doesn't, or it shouldn't be ad hoc every time. You shouldn't make this up as you go along. Yeah. Let me show you some. Let me show you some examples. Scripts. We've already gone through one in the Power Principle 1 as one of the key scripts. You're going to get the Peter Thompson thing. Refine it. Test it. See what words work, what words don't work. It's the measure and test stuff. It goes back to the Gerber. Innovate and quantification, and then orchestrate it. What are the things that actually work on a regular basis? Yeah? Some people will do a simple letter and go, who else do you know? You know, does that work for you? Does it not work? Does it need to be verbal? Does it need to be written? Can you do it by email? Yeah? Letters, like scripts. It might be we're delighted that we've done business with you, thank you for giving us this business, you know, who else do you know that could benefit? That type of stuff. John Hope, who was here at the last session, Park Diesel Services, wrote one piece of direct mail campaign that more than doubled his turnover because of writing a letter in the appropriate way and getting the wording right. and literally it doubled his turnover because he got extra business through doing it. It was like, wow, but it was really, really good. Forms. How many times do you have it in a magazine where it's an introduce a friend form? Yeah? Invites you to fill in the names of people you think would benefit from a subscription to the magazine, send it off to the publishers, they'll send a free copy of the magazine out to the contact with a note to say that you've recommended that they might be interested in this, and therefore when they subscribe they'll give you a gift. They'll give you a free gift, or they'll extend your membership. A bit like the postcard scheme. Vouchers. There was a link up a few years ago between David Lloyd, Leather Health Clubs, and Tesco's. Tesco club card holders. It wrote to Tesco club card holders, gave them a little credit card size piece of paper that said, you can go and try David Lloyd Sports Centres for a week and it'll cost you £25. So you can go for 5 different visits, try all the facilities, we're sure you'll love it. Centre Parks used to do this. Don't know if they still do, but when you got there, there'd be a pack of information about all the other different events and whatever else that they're going, but there would also be beautiful postcards illustrating the scenery or whatever at Centre Parks, and with words like rejuvenate freedom, energise, relax, fun, but they would pre-stamp the postcard so that you could then send it off to your loved ones who were back at home who hadn't come with you, or to your other relatives. It's their way of doing a bit of advertising. And on the back of it said, Centre Parks, for a brochure, call and a telephone number, or visit the website. Nice. So someone gets a nice, really good quality postcard, sees beautiful views, thinks, oh, that's nice, I might quite like going there. But the other, and it's a very, very effective way of using a postcard referral system, but the other thing that makes the difference was that they gave you 4 to send out, so not just 1. But the fact that they put an actual postage stamp on it made you feel obliged to use it, because people generally hate waste. So they wouldn't not use them, but they would feel that they really ought to use them because there was an actual stamp on there. And similarly, if you're going to do questionnaires or if you're going to send stuff out, if you actually put a postage stamp on for a return, you'll get a far better response rate, because people generally will want to feel that they're not wasting the stuff that's already gone on. Place that you might want to think about referring the system is customer satisfaction questionnaires. Who's done that? Who's actually put referral system on customer satisfaction questionnaire? Yeah? Yeah, we've done it. We asked for 3 people at the end of it. Not everybody put 3. So a couple of people did, which was really good. We didn't get a stunning response from the last time we did it, but we did it en masse. But it's now a question of actually we should probably do it again. We need to refresh the questions, we need to make it relevant. I know that there are some accountants out there, some other AVN accountants, who after every piece of work send out a questionnaire and have the, of all the people you know in business, which of the 3 people do you think? I think, well, from where we're coming from, I think that's probably too much after every single piece of work, personally, but maybe I'm wrong and therefore maybe I'm not maximising my referral opportunity. Test it, measure it, try it, you know. With or without rewards. You might want to put an offer in there, you might not want to put an offer in there, but you've got to make it so that it becomes a game that everybody wants to play. Think about it, try it, test it, measure it. And I'll come back to this. Where do you want to be on that chart? What's the growth target that you want to set? Because those numbers are really, really powerful numbers. Our conversion ratio is 85 or 90%, not 50%. Because the type of introduction that we're getting, the type of referral that we're getting from people. So if you can target it properly, you'll easily beat the 50% off the first slide. So the actual number of people you need to be introduced to are less, but just look at where your number of customers could be. If you really want to grow by referral marketing, referral networking, over 5 years' time, you know, do you want to be 7.5 times as big or 1.6 times as big as where you are at the minute? set yourself some targets, work through the processes, work through the Peter Thompson script that I'm about to give you, and then you can decide what you want to do with it. I'm actually finished a little bit earlier today. So, chance for general discussion.